Hey guys, welcome to the arcade. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. And as I kind of put out there, tonight I wanted to talk about atGames. There's been, I guess, enough news and momentum from the atGames camp recently that I think it warrants worth talking about. Most of the stuff that was coming out, new pinball tables and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't overly interested in because of the state of being able to get one of the pinball tables over here. But more and more stores things started to come out, so I was quite interested in a couple of things, and I think it warrants having a bit of a chat about. So for anyone who doesn't really know who atGames are, I think that's fair enough. They've been around longer than most people would think. They didn't start off in the home arcade market. They actually started off making handheld sort of clones of, well, the Mega Drive was kind of the ones that they did mostly. If we jump over, I can sort of show you what I mean. So this is going well. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry. For some reason my captures just decided that it doesn't want to. There you are. So, so this is what we're sort of talking about here. It's a handheld version of the Mega Drive or the Genesis, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, they're not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. They were quite pricey. And all things sort of considered, they weren't great quality. They had issues with the emulation. They felt cheap. Certainly the review here are like mostly positive, I would say there, but definitely from most people that would have picked one of these up and played them for a considerable amount of time, they really don't last at all. So this sort of gave atGames a bit of a bad name in the market. So when they decided that they were going to make a home arcade, people were kind of hesitant to jump on board. Now, they probably were one of the first, not the first multi-cade, but certainly the first one who tried to push it in quite some time to try and make it a affordable consumer product, and they did quite well. I mean, they came up with this is the atGames Legend Ultimate. So it's a big machine. To give you an idea, that control panel is the same size as the control panel I have sitting over there. So you're talking, what is it, like a 24-inch monitor on that thing? I believe it does say Yeah, it is. It's a 24-inch monitor, so it's a big beast of a machine. It's fairly well built. The first iteration of the machine, you had to apply the side art yourself. They were kind of like a vinyl sticker, which wasn't great, but it wasn't a deal breaker. I think most people would agree on that. It came packaged with 300 games, which was a fantastic thing when you looked at it. However, there were a bunch of games that they weren't great. There was also console games on there as well, but they did play well as on an arcade machine. I mean, I do videos of where I pick up console games and say, do you think this would work as an arcade game? Most of the games that they put on the Ultimate, they really did work. The buttons and joysticks are of good quality, definitely better than any of the ones you find nowadays on an arcade 1-up. I think they are very good. People will say that they're not as good as sort of the quality you would get on a proper arcade machine, and I suppose that is fair, but they're not meant to be. They're meant to be a home consumer product. So this was the machine that they came out with, and it did them well. It did them well for a very long time. Like I say, they were kind of the first ones that tried to push it as a commercial, affordable consumer product for the home market. The problem that they had was they sat and didn't innovate. They didn't innovate quickly enough. They didn't put out anything new. What they did was they gave you this machine with 300 games on it, and for a long time went, there you go, job done. But there was no incentive to do anything else with it. Yes, they did then bring out ArcadeNet, which had a few games that you could sort of stream almost. You were connecting to a server to play them that way, and it was a pay-for service, and it wasn't great. The selection of games certainly wasn't stellar. You didn't want to pay for it. The games never changed. And that's the way they went for a few years. Arcade 1-up came along, they started to catch up on them, and then only in the last 2 years have they decided that they're going to make other products, and those other products have been, I think they're of equal quality, and they've been doing quite well. The most noticeable is the pinball table. The pinball table is a fantastic piece of kit. Now, I know it is quite expensive, but what that pinball table can do is really, really impressive. It's got the big back box with a second screen on it that sort of displays the DMD or animations depending on what table you're playing. There's hundreds and hundreds of tables that you can play through the atGames ecosystem natively. You can hook this machine up to play VPX tables. It can play Pinball FX through Steam. It's very, very cool what you can do with it. I'm part of a Facebook group. I know I don't have the table, and I'll probably never be able to afford it, but I love watching what the guys can do with these tables. There's a couple of mods you can do for it to make it even more powerful and perform even better. It's a fantastic piece of kit. So that kind of sparked atGames up again. People were taking interest in it, but they only concentrated on the pinball. They didn't do anything with the arcade side of things, the big stand-up, the Ultimate. And people kept questioning that, because you've got this ecosystem where you're building more games for the pinball table. Why not start pushing out game packs? You could probably get the license for some easy ones, push them out as game packs for the Ultimate. It's a simple idea. It would probably generate a bit of income, but they didn't really capitalize on that. And then towards the end of last year, they announced that they were going to make the Legends Ultimate Mini. Or sorry, at the end of last year they released the Mini, the The pre-order for the Mini went out quite some time ago and then kind of got lost in the ether. No one was really sure what was happening with it. And then we finally got the Tetris edition, which was anyone who had pre-ordered it during one of the, I believe it was on the National Owner Day weekends that they hold. The Mini is a great piece of kit, and it shows what they can do when they put their minds to it. Now, it doesn't have the same amount of games on it, so there's only 150 on there. It's only a one-player machine, but this screen here rotates, so you can see at the moment that it's in a landscape kind of orientation, so that screen can pop out and turn 90 degrees, slot back in, and it becomes a vertical machine. So you've still got the bezels on the side and everything, and you can play vertical games in the correct aspect ratio, the way they should be, without the sort of the squishing or the stretching that you would normally suffer. That's a fantastic idea. There's a picture of it actually. You sort of just remove the bezel, and then the screen just pulls out, twists, and goes back in. Super simple. I think they put out a video to sort of demonstrate it, and the person that was doing it was able to get the bezel off, twist the thing, put it back in, put the bezel back on, and it was like 2 minutes, something along those lines. It's a fantastic idea, and I'm very tempted by that machine. It's a shame it's only a one-player machine, but I do think it's a class little piece of kit. So this seemed to be atGames' thinking again. They're innovating. They're coming up with new products. Maybe they are iterations of older ones, but that's perfectly fine. So what are we seeing recently? Well, last weekend was the National Owners Day. They hold 2 of these every year now. Normally you get a whole bunch of sales on the software side of things from the pinball tables, and the pinball tables is mostly what I would be looking for, because we can't get the hardware over here to try and show you. So where to find atGames products? So in the US there's a load of suppliers, plus you can get it direct from atGames themselves. From Canada you've got 2, the UK only has the 1, which is Liberty. So and they don't always get in everything, which is fair enough. They can't, I'm sure. It's a lot of stuff to be able to stock. So the things that we see atGames putting out, the LEDs and the LCD boards, they look amazing, but we don't get them over here, unfortunately, which is a big shame. But with it there only being one supplier over here, it's hard for us to shop around. There is quite a considerable markup on the prices that we see versus what is over in the States. It's part and parcel of trying to import things. Yes, there is problems shipping things, and shipping has become more expensive and yada yada. But I would say the one good thing is that we're not seeing... Oh no, not Liberty again. Yeah, well, it's the only one we've got. It is a shame. The one good thing I would say is that we've seen products from Arcade 1-Up raise in price gradually over the last couple of years. The price for the Legends Ultimate, the Virtual Pinball, and the Mini, they haven't changed since they came out. Now I know they are high, so you're talking like there's £800 for the original Legends Ultimate. Now it's always been £800 since it came out, and Liberty put it up for purchase. that's definitely one thing I would say is good. We're not seeing price rises on the atGames side of things. So Liberty being able to get them in, get them shipped over, that hasn't changed. I'm assuming this is why we're not seeing any of the price rises that we're seeing across the rest of the market, such as Arcade 1-Up. Now, like I say, there is a bit of a price rise. If I can jump over and sort of show you. So let's see, consoles. Boom. So there's the Legends Ultimate. So $600. But then we take a look at, whoops, haha. We take a look at the price over here. So it's $800. It's a good show. They always have them on sale. Yeah, that's a gripe I've had with Liberty for a little while. That it doesn't mean anything. That has been, these products have been on sale in time memoriam. They've never changed that. And that kind of sucks because it'll get to the end of the year, and all that'll happen is this little tag will change. The price will never change, but the sale tag will change. It'll start saying Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sale, Christmas sale, New Year's sale, and it's always the same price. All year, it's always on sale. Go figure. So yeah, if you're looking for the conversion, it's a bit up in the air. The Legends Ultimate, $600, £800. The Pinball, $800, £900. The Ultimate Mini, $450, $450, and it's what, 600 over here. So it's hard to try and judge what they're going to be when they come over here, but we are seeing some new stuff, which is kind of a little bit exciting. The first one is the Legends Pinball Micro, and I've seen a few people starting to get their hands on these and starting to review them. I would definitely go with the Tato Skin one if I was going to get one of these. I think it's a lovely wee piece of kit. It's quite big, actually. I suppose if you're trying to, yeah, I'm talking about that size, and it was yay big. It's meant to sit on a desk, but it is a bit of a bulky thing. I suppose if you looked at it, it would be like Polybus here on its back. That would be the sort of size from what I've seen. It plays really well. It can play anything that the big table can, which is really impressive. Again, it can be hooked up to a PC to play VPX or Pinball FX over Steam. There's a smaller version of the Vibs board that can be used to hook things up. The only thing is it doesn't have legs. However, I've been told you can get legs for it that you can hook on. That it would look kind of stupid, really. These legs would be absolutely huge compared to this little thing. I think it is a good idea to have it on a desk or something along those lines. My grievance with it is that it is quite pricey. Like, you're talking, I know they're saying here $340, but that doesn't seem to be correct. If I jump back, there we go, it's $450, which is when I took it through the checkout process. That was the price they came up. Now that is quite pricey. I know it can do all of the stuff that this one can, but because of its size, it's just, I wanted it to be a little bit cheaper. Now it's not over in the UK. and if it does come over to the UK, I cannot see it going for less than £600, which is pointless because you can get the arcade one-up pinball tables for less, even when they're around their full price. I would be more inclined to get one of the bigger tables, the arcade one-up, and run through that. There's enough mods and soft mods you can do with that table to make it worthwhile, rather than spending £600 on a smaller version of the Legends pinball. But I do like that they've been thinking about things like that, and have pushed that forward. The other one that I was kind of hoping would come over here and never did was the Core Max. So the Core is, if you're looking at the Gamer Pro, you can sort of see it down here. The Core is kind of like the heart of the setup. It's what holds the games, the operating system, and everything like that. The control deck itself is just a massive control deck. There's nothing within there that's holding memory or anything like that. It's all contained on that little puck. And then this Core Max is a more advanced version of it. There's a better chipset within it, which makes it easier to run higher, sort of more demanding games. Now, most people would say, well, why do you need that? Because the games have never changed on the Legends Ultimate, and they haven't. But there are ways, again, of bringing games onto the Ultimate or to the Gamer Pro through the likes of Steam or CoinOpsX and things like that. And the more demanding the game, the more processing power it needs. So I kind of wanted to upgrade to the Core Max if it ever came out over here in the UK, but it never really materialized, which was a bit annoying. Although it might be a moot point at this time, because I can't get my Gamer Pro to hook up to the original puck anymore. I don't know what's wrong or what I've done to it. It still looks like it's connecting via Bluetooth, but I can't do anything, so I may have to reset everything if I ever want to hook up the Gamer Pro again properly. But it's hooked into my Batocera build, so I'm not overly concerned at this stage. So, moving on to what was announced over the last couple of weeks, and well, we'll take a look and see what you reckon. So the first one that we have, the announced new products. So these went on pre-order for Nod just over the weekend there. So there was two big new products, and they are 4K versions of both the pinball table and the Legends Ultimate. And at first glance, most people would go, "Brilliant! They're doing something new." Sort of. The pinball table, I think that's a brilliant idea. Yes, 4K LED screen on the big 32-inch playfield. The new back box, all the rest of it. We've been promised a new UI and everything like that. The UI on the atGames stuff is very... it's not user friendly. You need to know what you're doing to navigate through there, to find the game you want to play, to set up a Bluetooth headset, something along those lines. I do think that it really does need an overhaul to make it a lot easier to use. A 4K display on the main playfield is going to be really cool. You're probably talking about a, what did you say, like 20 inch, maybe 22 back box. Not entirely sure, but maybe something along those lines. So I really hope that's going to do well. There doesn't appear to be anything else new with it. They're going to load it up, I'm sure, with a whole bunch of games. Maybe they'll give it a bit of internal memory, the way they've done with the last iteration of the Legends Ultimate. That's a thing I should kind of mention as well. The Legends Ultimate, it hasn't really changed, but it's gone through 3 iterations. So there was the original one, and then the 1. Was it the 1.1 and then the 1.2? Is that what they called it? Basically, one of them had an updated control deck, which had the ports and everything embedded into the bottom of the screen along where the control deck would sit. And then another version of it came out, which was exactly the same, except it had internal memory. But they never announced anything like that. You didn't know that these things were changing. And so, you would have to speak with Liberty to figure out which one they're actually selling. Now, from this, you can sort of see that it has the buttons, the pinball buttons on the side, which would lead me to believe that it's at least the 1.1, but it could be the 1.2. There's no mention of it having internal memory. And chances are they're just sending over their suppliers the ones they have. So do the suppliers know? I have no idea at this stage. But jumping back, so yes, 4K display, brilliant for the pinball tables, because we're getting new pinball tables. We're seeing new stuff coming on. We've just had the Cat in the Hat. All the Dr. Seuss ones, the National Geographic, all those kind of things, and we've got new ones coming as well. And then they announced that they were going to do a 4K version of the Legends Ultimate. Why? Why does anyone want to play Pac-Man in 4K? The games on that machine were all classics. The most modern ones you had on there were stuff from the Mega Drive, the Genesis. You don't need a 4K display for that. And I know that they're loading it up with a couple of the pinball tables. But look, you can see on the artwork here. Sort of just above Space Invaders, because we all want to play Space Invaders in 4K. You got Pitfall as well. What was that? Atari 2600 game. Let's play that in 4K and see how bad that looks. I think that's a real waste. That's just them doing things for the sake of doing it. There's no real point to the Legends Ultimate having a 4K screen in it. It's a swing and a miss. I can see the benefit of having it for the pinball, because you want the crisp details when you're leaning over the playfield, when you're trying to hit those targets. You want to be as accurate and as quick as possible. So 4K on the pinball, yes, that makes sense. But on the Legends Ultimate, no, I don't. I just don't think that was a good idea at all. And then there was another one that they announced that kind of, at first I thought it was going to be really cool, and now I don't know. So they announced the Legends Voyager, which is going to be was about to say, what are the new games in 4K? For the Legends Ultimate, the only ones that really would make benefit to the 4K are the pinball tables. So they preloaded some of the new pinball tables onto it, so you can see sort of down at the, you can't see my cursor, can you? Can see my cursor. So down around here, Cat in the Hat, Fox and Socks. So, and then there's the Natural History pinball tables as well. So those are the only ones that will really work 4K wise. Everything else that's on the the Legends Ultimate are, as it were, Bubble Bobble, Bad Dudes versus uh, Dragon Ninja, all of the classic games, which I just don't think will look right on a 4K monitor. I think that's a waste. I don't think there was any point in putting a 4K monitor in there. It was perfectly fine the way it was, and if you wanted to play pinball games on that machine, yeah, it works okay. I wouldn't want it in 4K, I don't think. But going back to the Voyager, so this is atGames coming out with another handheld. So yes, I thought this was going to be really cool, and then I started to think back to their Sega consoles, the handheld. They were cheap, they were not well made. I'm really hoping that they've learnt their lessons and that this is going to be a home run for them. Like, they do seem to be saying that you're going to be able to access your existing games and pinball packs, so it's going to be able to play the pinball tables as well on the go. So does that mean it's going to have with similar to the Everkit, is it going to have a tate mode where it can you can hold it vertically? Because could you imagine, like, I can't play the Switch, the pinball on the Switch like that. I have to turn it and get it sort of in that orientation, because it just doesn't look right. It's too small. So we're talking about 50 games included. Now I'm assuming it's going to be a bit of a selection between what you can get on the Gamer Pro or the Legends Ultimate, and then you're going to have a few of the pinball tables thrown in there as well. They're saying that it's going to be open and connected, so again, I'm going to assume that it's going to be able to connect to Steam and all the rest of it the same way that any of the other atGames family products can do. I'd be very interested to see how this one plays out. I think if they get it right, it'll be really, really good, and if they get it wrong, it'll crucify them. I don't think so. Both of these are looking for Q4 in 2023. For the UK, I would say add another year to that. So we'll probably see this maybe in time for Christmas next year. If not that, then in the new year. And I'm judging that on the timeline that it took the original pinball table to come over. So it was released a year before the UK got it. That I'm going off that sort of timeline. I know in the original pinball table they released it in waves in the States. Maybe they'll have a better supply line or manufacturing line all set up for the new products. I'm not entirely sure how they would work that, but I think if we go by the same timelines, that we're probably looking at next year end of before we see it. Price wise, chatting on the Discord last week, I have put out that I think we're going to see the pinball table for, I think I said between 1,800 and 2,000 for the 4K pinball table. When it comes to the UK, I think that's what we're going to be looking at for that. For the Ultimate, I think it's going to be 1,200, because it's a big 4K monitor. That's going to push prices up. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at for us, and I think for most people it's going to push it way out of people's price range, and that's a big worry I've got. We don't have, like I say, we don't have any competition when it comes to the suppliers over in the UK. We have Liberty, and that's it. You can't really do much. 2K, you must be joking. No, I honestly think it's going to be around 2 grand when it comes over here. Look at the price hike that we get uh, for the. We've got it for 800 dollars here, and we have it for 900 quid. So I could definitely see this. Yeah, this is probably I'd say about $1,500 for this thing when it comes out over there, and we'll get it for about, yeah, between 1,800 and 2 grand. It's speculation. I'm trying to use things that I've seen from these guys before. Like the Ultimate has the biggest markup. I'll definitely say that. Like, so I would say about 12. We'll see that for £1,200 when it comes over here. I think this will go for about £1,000. The new one. That'll go for about £1,000, $1,000, and we'll say it for 1,200. And then this, I think it'll go for $1,500, and we'll get it for about 18. It's what I reckon, but we'll live and see. I mean, anything could change between now and then. Like next year, we could all be back to normal when it comes to shipping, or we come up with some newfangled way of getting things across water, and it'll be much cheaper. Who knows? Like anything could change. These are just me spitballing, but I do think it's going to be out of most people's price range. The handheld, I don't know. I can't really say what that's going to be. Like they sold the original Mega Drive one for about $300, which was pricey. I don't rightly know. I mean, who are you competing with in that market? Evercade, really? Yeah. You'd need to make it cheap and competitive, but I don't know. I mean, if they're gonna put that out for the same price as a Switch, I don't think it'll sell, because what's the bonus? You can play stuff like that on the Switch. You can play most of the games that you can get on the atGames on a Switch. You can get the Pinball FX on the Switch. The pricing's going to be interesting on that one. So the final couple of things I want to talk about today is around, now if I can bring back up here what I did see, if I could get to it again. No, go back. We're starting to see game packs appearing again. So we've seen the pinball packs. They've been coming out for ages now, since we've had the Legends pinball, and they've been really good. You know, you get more tables. I do really like some of the Tato ones. I thought they were really good. I played the hell out of the Bubble Bobble one. I really enjoyed it. But now we're starting to see game packs appearing, and this is something that we've wanted from atGames for ages, because it made sense. You've got this big machine. The games haven't changed in ages. You're not updating ArcadeNet. Well, can you get us more games in another way? We'll pay for them. People have said that for the last 2 years. We'll pay for more games, and it looks like finally they're listening to us. So we've got these 2 new game packs out, and I'll be honest, I know none of the games on both of these packs. I had a look through them earlier on in the week, and yeah, I don't know these games at all. So apparently they are the top renovation games to play on your Arcade Legends family devices. Yeah, like there may be games that I'll have to look into a bit more. It's just they're going in the right direction. Don't get me wrong. This is what we want to see. This is good that they're bringing out game packs. But could they have given us a game that people would know? I don't know. But yes, I'm very happy to see that they are starting up again with the with the game packs, and then on top of that, they added 30 new games to ArcadeNet. Fantastic! Yes. Now a couple of those games were ones that were already part of the game library on the Legends Ultimate and things like that. But having them on ArcadeNet means you can play online, means you can play multiplayer with someone else on ArcadeNet. Now, yes, ArcadeNet is a pay for service, so trying to get people onto that, you're going to need to draw people in. The multiplayer on some of the games are cracker, a cracker way of doing it. And let's see if I can. I don't know if it's on this one. Let me have a quick jump in. There they are. So these are the. Go away. Sorry, I hate adverts. I don't want to pay for. Don't want to pay for what do you call it? YouTube Premium. So here we are. These are the 30 new games that we're going to see on. I've just noticed. Is that like the? Was that the background there? Was that the original intro to P-Dub's I Hate Mondays? It looks very similar. But then I guess we all use something kind of like that, don't we? Oh well. So ArcadeNet, 30 new games. No idea what that is, but Bad Dudes vs Dragon Ninja, Burger Time, Burning Rubber, yes please. Hero I hadn't heard of, but that looks cool. We've got Pitfall, River Raid 2. It's there they are. There's all of them. That we can see. So we've got ones like there's use my cursor. Bad Dudes, Spin Master, Boogie Wings I think is on the what do you call it? It's on the main. Is in the library of games already on the machines, but being able to play these as like a multiplayer, that's really cool. I think that's going to be a good one. Wizard Fire, that's a fucking good game. Yeah, definitely would recommend having a go at that. And you've got some like really old Atari games, like fucking Pitfall and Laser Blast and what have you. But this is good. We're starting to see more games coming on to ArcadeNet. So if they can keep this up, this is going to be this is great for business. This is going to draw more people in. People are actually going to want to buy ArcadeNet. That's a good thing, because it's at the moment the only time I ever used part of ArcadeNet was just for the high scores. But now there's more. There's 30 more reasons, and some people may look at these ones and go, "Oh well, that's all crap." There's definitely people out there that will take a look at one of these games and go, "I remember that. I played the shit out of that when I was young. I want to play it again." And that's the whole point of these things. Get a big selection from all over the place. Like I'd probably not go anywhere near Pro Soccer, but I will play the shit out of Pitfall. I loved that game as a kid. I'll not go anywhere near Checkers, but I'll play the shit out of Spin Masters. You know? And though people will do it the other way around. Someone will go, they really love Pro Soccer, or they want to play a game of checkers with someone from the other side of the world. This is what we want to see. So atGames have. Is this the waking of a sleeping giant? I really, really hope so. They've sat on what they had for so long. It's kind of what we've said with iArcade for so long, that they had this big advantage and didn't make use of it. And atGames did the same thing. They put out this great piece of kit and thought they were done. And then everyone else caught up with them. So they've got a mountain to climb, definitely. But this is certainly a great first couple of steps in the right direction. There is one thing that I wanted to... Games are fine. Only issue with atGames is the cost of the hardware in the UK. If it was affordable, I would have an Ultimate over a 1-up. Yep, I completely agree. The prices that we're paying for these machines are a bit crazy. However, I'll counter that again by saying there's the Ultimate, 300 games on it, plus the ability to play pinball games. £800. Time Crisis, when it comes out for Arcade 1-up, is slated to be $800. So when that comes over here, if it doesn't pull a Star Wars, it'll probably be £800. So like I said earlier, although these prices seem high, they haven't gone up in the same way that we've seen Arcade 1-up's prices go up. If you were to look at those two machines side by side, 300 games, online connectivity on quite a number of games, integrated high scores, big 2-player, a 24-inch monitor for £800 versus Time Crisis with 4 games on it, 5 games on it for £800. Now we're kind of saying that the prices aren't maybe as bad as we first thought, or at least other companies are making their prices worse. That makes these ones look a bit more attractive. Maybe that's another way of looking at it. But certainly if you were new to the hobby, if you looked at some of the prices that we now pay for the Arcade 1-ups, and you saw this for £150 more than an Arcade 1-up, you might lean towards the atGames. And now that we're seeing more stuff come on to atGames, more game packs, more stuff being added to ArcadeNet, does make it a bit more attractive. It's a good point. If they did a small sale on the Ultimate, I would probably buy. Only way I buy 1-ups now is at Christmas, when Game crash the prices to hit their end of year targets. Yeah, it's getting to the stage where everybody's gonna wait on a sale. Like, I really wanted to get my hands on the Star Wars machine, but that price is just way too high for 3 games. Sorry, it's just not gonna happen. The other one was the Time Crisis one. I really want to get my hands on that as well, but 800 is out of my price range. God knows how much they're going to charge for this Fast and the Furious machine when it comes out. That's a big license that I'm sure it cost them a lot of money to get their hands on. That's going to be massive amounts of money as well. So yeah, definitely not buying Time Crisis at 800 or 900. I think 800 and 900 is probably where it's gonna land when it comes out. And yeah, like you say, far too rich for my blood. I really wanted to get my hands on it because I love Point Blank, but that price is just no. It's it's out of my price range, and I can't. If it comes down in price, if I was able to pick it up for, I was going to say 600, but even that's a bit high for me. It's like, if I got it for 5, maybe I would buy it. I don't know if it'll ever go that way. Yeah, funny. I was actually would prefer Ridge Racer. I was actually talking to someone on the Discord today about that I'd love to have picked up a Ridge Racer cabinet if it ever came out over here, and then I would add in the mod kit from the Buy Stuff store. That looks like a fantastic piece of kit. Adds a shit ton of new games onto the machine. I think it would just be absolutely cracker. Would prefer Ridge Racer over Fast and the Furious. Yeah, Fast and the Furious does nothing for me. That I played that game in the arcade and didn't really enjoy it. It was just a bit of a stupid game. Really, there was no real proper racing to it. It's hard to explain. I just did not like it at all. But there we have it, guys. This is coming to the end of what I wanted to chat about tonight. So I think atGames are in a good position again. They're starting to make more innovations, and like the some of the stuff that they originally put into the machine was really good. Like the ability to live stream straight from one of the Legends Ultimates or the Gamer Pro. The Gamer Pro was what got me back into live streaming, because I could click a button and I could go live straight to YouTube from the deck. It was a great wee idea. Some of the Bluetooth connections were a bit janky. At times I would drop out of audio, which they never really got around to fixing, but it was a great idea. So they do have great ideas. I just think they're maybe slow to bring them to market. And then we did have the rumor that there was going to be, well, it wasn't a rumor, it was confirmed, and then it disappeared. That atGames were building a racer. It was going to be like a multi-cade racer, and sorry, my headphones just decided to blare at me there. There was going to be a multi-arcade racer from atGames, and they showed us what it looked like, and it looked like shit, and then it disappeared, and no one has mentioned it in over a year now, maybe even 2. So are they still working on that? I mean, it was never confirmed that it was cancelled, so is it still being worked on in the background? Nobody's saying anything. Whether it'll come to fruition, I don't know. I could see that one being quite pricey as well, in all honesty. But anyway, well, thank you very much, guys, for joining me tonight. This has been really fun. I would love to pick up one of the Legends Ultimate Minis. I think that would be a really cool little addition. I just love the idea that I can turn the screen, 90 degrees and have it as a dedicated vertical machine. £600, maybe. Still out of the price range. I would love to see these prices actually come down, actually go on sale, rather than just a sticker that always says it's on sale and the price never change. Maybe someday we'll see that. Maybe even we'll get some more suppliers picking it up. It would be nice if Amazon over here started to do the atGames stuff the same way that Amazon.com does it for the States. So maybe that's something that'll come down the line as well. But we live in hope, and we shall see what comes of it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate you hanging out, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now, guys. Take care.